Hey, what's going on, guys? The Horror Man back with a controversial view of Halloween Kills. Jason and I were originally going to give Halloween Kills a positive spin. Despite being pretty damn awesome, people trash it. That should come as no surprise. Yet another Halloween sequel Halloween fans seem to hate. Doesn't that make anyone else question whether or not these so-called Halloween fans actually like the franchise? It seems, with the exception of very few, they trash all the sequels. Halloween Kills is no exception. But this is not a positive spin. It's a controversial view. That's because there are multiple controversies surrounding the film. Let's start with the first one. The Firefighters Massacre. Do you guys remember when Halloween Kills was first released? And there were literally people who wanted that scene removed from the movie. They believed that first responders would be offended to see the firefighters massacred that way. Turns out they were real-life firefighters who signed on for the film. They obviously had no problem with it, so why should anyone else? Bunch of busybodies. Cancel culture at its finest. Not knowing a damn thing. Another controversial aspect of Halloween Kills was the fact that people didn't like that Michael positioned his victims. They claimed he never did that before, so why is he doing it now in this film? Are you serious? Have you watched the original Halloween? He literally positions Annie on the bed in front of the tombstone. He places Linda in the closet and has Bob hanging from the ceiling. How is that not Michael positioning the bodies? He had them on full display. I swear, sometimes the most controversial things about these films are the fans themselves. Which brings us to the next controversy, and probably the biggest one of all. Evil Dies Tonight. Come on. Say it with me, guys. It's the equivalent of the White Horse in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. People swear Evil Dies Tonight absolutely consumes this sequel. Well, guess what? When Jason and I watched this again together for this controversial view, we took notes. The first time Evil Dies Tonight is said in the film is around the 34-minute mark, when Tommy says it for the first time. Then, that's it. For the first hour. It is only said one time in the first hour of the movie. The next time Evil Dies Tonight is said is around the hour and 5-minute mark in a succession of the second, third, and fourth times. Tommy says it, then some random Haddonfield citizen repeats it, and then Brackett says it. Minutes later, Tommy says it for the third time, 5 times in total, and the rest comes from the crowd chanting it in quick succession. In total, Evil Dies Tonight is said around 31 times, and that's being generous. There are times when it's barely audible, but the majority of those times is said within a span of about 40 seconds. So let's think about that. People have such an issue with the Evil Dies Tonight chant, but most of it happens within a span of less than a minute. The problem isn't with the movie, guys. The problem is you. The real controversy is this. People do not like to see themselves in the mirror when it reflects back poorly on them. People claim to hate the hospital scene and the mob of Haddonfield citizens. Why? Because it's real. This movie was released in 2021. Were you not paying attention to the news at that time? There were protests and riots all over the country. And guess what those people were doing? Chanting the same things over and over and over again. So when a movie is unrealistic, people bitch and moan. Meanwhile, Halloween Kills literally imitates life at that time, and people bitch and moan. I'll say it again. It's the toxic fandom That's the controversy. My God, Laurie even references it in the movie when she calls them all sheep. It was an example of art imitating life. The fact of the matter is, some people just don't like to see the truth. Do as I say, not as I do. That sort of thing. Moving on now, another controversy was the Michael Speaks rumor. To this day, there are people who swear and will argue with you that Michael says the words, "Give it back," when Karen takes his mask toward the end of the film. He doesn't. This was debunked by the filmmakers, by James Jude Courtney himself, and the fact that when you watch Halloween Kills with subtitles, it's not there. But for some reason, those who want to believe he speaks refuse to believe the truth. Okay, I could go on, but I'll throw out just one more controversy. The ending of Halloween Kills was controversial when it was released. People didn't understand why it ended so abruptly. Apparently, they don't know about bridge films. Have they never seen The Empire Strikes Back? Halloween Kills was never meant to conclude anything. It's a bridge in between Halloween 2018 and Halloween Ends. Some people were so frustrated by this. What did they expect? One last time now. The most controversial thing of all is the toxic fandom itself. Regardless, we're all entitled to our own opinions. I know that, guys. I get it. But the constant bashing and trashing of these movies is enough to make my head spin. Just like Cameron's in Halloween Kills. Well, at least this one isn't as hated as Halloween Ends. And I bet you can guess what our positive spin will be on Saturday. Even still, this video ended up crossing over into that positive spin territory, which makes sense, because Controversial View is a positive spin-off. I hope you've enjoyed it, but you don't have to. This is just my controversial view. Be sure to check out Jason's as well to hear what he has to say about Halloween Kills. Which controversial movie will we view next? Check back soon to find out. Until then, thanks for watching, guys. Hit that thumbs up and, be kind, subscribe.